What's going on, folks? So it's been a couple of weeks since we repotted these bougainvilleas, and I got the cuttings here. You can see they're all pushing out a lot of roots in there, so it's time to get these into some soil. But first, let's see where all these cuttings came from.
Yes, Bougainvillea.
So we've got these pre-bonsai bougainvilleas. They're in small terracotta pots right now. They've gone kind of wild. They've been in these pots since last summer. They were looking pretty rough this spring. If you remember a video I put out a couple months ago, it was how I water them during the summer versus winter. They were looking pretty rough at that time, but you can see they're all nice and green and lush now. I think they just needed a dose of that sunshine and some heat. So these are potted in mainly just turfus and perlite, and they were top dressed with compost as well this spring when I put them on the porch when they were looking kind of rough. I think if I remember correctly, I didn't sift this turfus and perlite, and I think that was part of the problem this spring when they were looking rough. I think it had kind of broken down a bit and was suffocating the roots a little bit. So let's check it out. This guy's in here really tight. All right, there we go. Loose soil on the top. Pretty good root ball. As is typical with bougainvilleas, they have kind of brittle roots. They're just kind of like, falling off here. The soil is lava rock, some pumice, turfus, pine bark, and compost. So I'm going to do some pruning on this before I try and pot it, just because it's so top heavy right now. That'll be the front of it. Get down a little bit more there. I think I'm going to take this kind of straight branch here off as well. It's good for now. So this will be the front here. Not a whole lot of roots to work in there, but let's just make sure that we got this down there pretty well. Got the air pockets worked out. Alright, what did I say was the front again? Kind of buried the root base a little bit, but like I said, this was the front. So let's see, there's a little bit of movement in the trunk there, and it kind of flows up this way, eventually out this way. So, number one, done. Okay, number 2. What do we have here? Alright, so I think this is going to be the front. There's a little bit of movement. There's kind of like a little dead branch sticking out here, and some nice leaves that come up this way. Okay. Just cut this little branch right on the inside here, on the inside of this bend out. Don't want that. I'm going to leave this one that's coming off the back. These. And I'm just going to trim it up to here. So this will be the front. Let's see. So this little branch will be a little off. Get that kind of little bit of an S curve coming up here. And then back to there. Take that whole branch off. Be a little bit drastic, but no, I think I'm going to leave it for now. Alright, so that's it now. That should be the front toward you. And that is number 2 done. All right, so just got done with that one. I wasn't recording, but actually ended up cutting off more than I wanted to. I was going to leave this small branch here. Didn't work out like that, but I think it turned out okay anyway. I think this is going to be the front now, though. It's got a nice little curve, little branch coming out the side. I think it looks good. Number 3 done. So here is the front angle on the 3 trees that we just did. So these are the Pre-Bonsai Bougainvillea that we just trimmed and repotted. Here are the 2 that I did earlier this spring, and I did them kind of in a rush because they were looking so bad. You can see the cuttings, the Bougainvillea cuttings back there. So one thing that'll be interesting to see, this is a completely inorganic mix, so it's just turfus and perlite. And this has a little bit of pine bark and a tiny little bit of compost in there, along with the pumice, turfus, and lava rock. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how the 2 groups do compared to each other. So there's not much to take off of these. I don't really like this big long straight branch here. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna wait to prune these until this fall. So I'll wait on these 2 until this fall, and we'll see where they're at. These 2 are still kind of in recovery mode, so I'll just let them grow. All right, while we're working on the pre-bonsai plants, let's take a look at these gardenias. So these I grew from cuttings. Took these cuttings this winter, maybe, I'd have to look and see. I think it was maybe February, sometime between February, March, April, somewhere in that area. But so they've been growing pretty vigorously this summer, and I feel like it's time to maybe snip a couple branches and start training them more into like a tree shape rather than the bush shape they're starting to take on. All right. So this guy, I didn't really plant him on an angle like this. Let's see that probably better from that angle. So he's kind of leaning like that, and I didn't intend for that, but I like it, and I think that's going to be cool. So I'm going to leave it. Now I've got a small branch coming here from the trunk. I think I'm going to leave that for now, just as like a sacrificial branch. We'll see what it turns into. I have some small, like, suckers. Something. I'm not sure where those are coming from. Yeah, so they're just under soil level. So, you know, I'm going to leave those two. I think they might add a little bit of mass to the base of the trunk there. So for now, I'm going to take this one in the back off. I'm going to take this big branch off. Take this little branch off. And then I'm just going to take this one down to here. I don't need to get too crazy on these. Alright, so that is what would be the potential front. I mean, at this point, it's up in the air. Alright, next up. This guy's standing up vertically. Got some more suckers coming out of the soil here. A lot of like suckers on these. Oh no, that's potentially a nice sacrificial branch there. I'm going to leave that. Just taking off a couple of leaves so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Yeah, nice. Just giving him a little haircut. Let's take this off. Take this branch off. Gosh. I might save some of these as cuttings. I just might. Can't help myself. Alright, last one. So we got 4 of these gardenias. Alright, so all 4 of these gardenias are now trimmed up. Hopefully I'll get some nice growth out of these the rest of the summer. I'm really looking forward to see what's happening with these guys though. This will be the first gardenias that I've grown from cutting. I actually killed a gardenia trying to turn it into a bonsai tree this winter, so that was one of my first attempts back in like February. So also killed an azalea. That's why I was so cautious when I was working on this azalea. because I had killed that azalea, and I think it was because I went in and there were two trunks, and I tried separating them at the roots, and I had to make a big cut right along the roots, and I'm pretty sure that's what did that plant. And this azalea is bouncing right back. It's back budding already. It's looking great. So I could have taken that back a lot more. But yeah, so this is looking good. They're going to go down with the bougainvilleas and the hibiscus, and we'll just let them grow for the rest of the summer. See you in the next video.